Hare Krishna. Today's heavy snowstorm in America and the place that I live in at Ohio State. There is also a huge storm, and the snow is almost 6 inches. We cannot go out, and I thought this is a good opportunity to speak about something that hit me this morning as I saw the white devil all over, making life almost coming to a halt. So we cannot go out at all, and even the snow removal guys have not yet arrived, so there's no chance of stepping out of the door. So actually, this topic is again and again the topic that I am speaking on is very much talked about the human as an animal. So why people think that there is some people, they say humans are almost like animals. Why do they consider them? What, who gives them this thought? They say there's no difference between humans and animals, and especially those who keep pets. These people, they almost unwilling to accept it. They will tell that their pet is very much, it deserves um, very much the animals, the pets, they deserve a lot of attention and care as much as humans, and they're almost like humans. So such people, Prabhupada, on such people speaks that actually this people, they do not want God, they only want Maya. Otherwise, if anyone wants God, Krishna, there is no difficulty. Krishna says, Man pana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mame mama eva Eshasi, Mami Vashasi, Ashamsaya. 1865. Four things. Always think of me. Manmana, Mad Bhakta, become my devotee. Madhyati, you worship me and offer your obeisances unto me. If you do simply these four things, then you're coming back to me without any doubt. These four things, but such people will not do, they cannot do it or will not do it. Otherwise, it's so simple. We are thinking of something all the time. The mind is such a thing given to human being that it always will keep thinking. The mind, the nature of the mind is so. No one can stop the mind from thinking. We simply then, how are we to have any rest if we don't sleep for one day? Then how disturbed you feel? The Lord has mercifully given us this sleep. Otherwise, people would become mad. They would not sleep and just work and work and work. And what would they do? Just think and think and think. The mind needs rest, and the sleep is the duration during which the mind comes to rest, and hence we derive energy in a newer way to carry on our all the passionate desires. Passionate? Yes, passionate. You will say passion is only for those who are performers. No, everybody has some or the other passion. A person may be lazy, that might be his passion. So just stay in bed and do nothing whole day, just sleep whole day. So that could be his passion. So even then the mind is thinking all the time. So we have to simply replace that thinking with the thoughts of Krishna. No. But these people, they'll think so many other things except Krishna. So, what is the nature of such a person? He's a very lazy person. This is the difficulty. Otherwise, what is so difficult that you have to think about Krishna? And thinking about Krishna means working, doing all all your task according to Krishna's will. Now what are the tasks? Job, huh? Dropping people to the dropping the school kids to the school, Is that the work that you're doing daily, or then you are pondering on what next in the business? So what work? So every work that you do which is mandatory for your day-to-day existence, you offer it to the Lord. And in this way, rather than thinking that I'm doing for my child or for my father or for my family, for my wife, you have to replace it with, I'm doing it for Krishna. And how are you doing it for Krishna? So that he may be happy. Now, why will be Krishna happy when you are going to your job daily? Why will he be happy? So that is how you have to be alert and think what is doing for Krishna. So doing for Krishna is only that which pleases Krishna. So 1,000 times we have been told, and we don't need to explain on this. Each one has his own individual way of accepting and implementing. So the general instruction is that do every task that you do only for Krishna's sake. Now, when that is said, then where is Maya? Now, uh, this is the this is the reason understanding is very important. If you do not understand and do it blindly, you and if your heart is simple, you'll get the results. But if you are not understanding and just doing blindly without understanding, then it may be a problem, and you have to daily think over it and increase your understanding, because the problems are daily big, they are magnifying and nevertheless lessening. The nature of the world is like this in Kali Yuga. Nowhere you will see that the news channel, the Fox News, the Beyond News channel, BBC reporting everybody is very happy. Today the day rise, sun shone, and as the morning rose, people were all jolly and frolicking, and they were in festive and merry and making merrymaking in a jolly mood, and the kids were playing, and everybody was laughter and just enjoying the day and the sunshine. How nice it would be if the news channel reported this daily. Everybody is happy. There is peace everywhere and no one is in trouble. So, such a news is a dream. So, daily these things are happening. And what are we doing as a civilian to combat it? On our level, the government is doing something at its level, the government is active, then everybody is active on their own level. But what we as an individual, and we are civilians, what are we doing at our level to combat that? The war is happening somewhere far off, in some other country, and it is a constant news these days. The countries, they are labeled as where there is war all the time. In such situations, what are the news channel doing, and what are we doing with the news channel is our call. What we do with it daily, one would not want to hear something that he is not up to. Then this is our own understanding. So understanding is very very important. So rather than watching the channel and then assuming that what is the nature, why is the war there? Because of lust. So the nature of the lust is the person gets into a warlike tendencies all the time, and unless this lust is satisfied, nothing is going to stop it. He will crave for more and more, and next time he will commit more. If the lust is satisfied, he will commit even more bigger crimes. So this is the nature of material world, and the lust is of this nature. Lust never gets satisfied. Now that is something, it's like a rolling ball. And thus once we understand if lust is never ever going to be satisfied, then what is our aim and what is the action? The action, every action is bondage. With lust, every karma, every action is bondage, material bondage. Yes. So lust is never ever going to be satisfied. And the more the lust increases, you're going to commit only bad karmas, nothing good. So this is the understanding given to us by Srila Prabhupada through his scriptures. Reading the scriptures itself is a big, powerful thing to understand this. Otherwise, one would not be, who would want to understand that the lust is the reason of all the wrongdoings, and whether or not they are wrong, we do not accept. No one likes to accept his own doings as wrong. If you are told that you are doing this wrong, you do, this is wrong, that is wrong, they will be fed up and they will yell at you and they'll say, mind your own business, let me do my own thing. So the war in the current scenario in these countries is the same situation. No one likes to be told they are wrong. Why? Because the lust. What is that lust about? A self centeredness, and then believing in something that is wrong because of that, not asking anybody for any advice or consulting any upper authority on that. So this will go on and on. So in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, 1865. This is Krishna consciousness. Now, the thoughtlessness is just, it's a very bad idea. No one can become thoughtless. The mind is there, it will always be thinking. And what will it be thinking? There will be thoughts all the time. So the lust actually is like a rolling ball. It has no any credibility to it actually. And what are we then pursuing? So this is a matter of understanding, and only humans can understand. Those are humans who are animal-like will never accept it, and they will suffer. And those who are in association of them may also be see some sluggishness in their activities due to such influences. So what to do? That is the problem today. The bad people do not listen, the good people, they are influenced by the bad people, and there is sluggishness. Then what to do? So that is a big challenge. And once you recognize the challenge, then there is always a solution. Recognizing the challenge and then accepting it, that is very important. The solution may or may not be there, but once you recognize the challenge and accept it, then it means a lot. So now, um, when you tell such people who are humans but animal like, are they are disgusted with the material thought, so they want to make it to nothing, that is zero. But that is not possible at all. You must think of something all the time. It's not that I will stop thinking now, nothing I will think. That is also thinking. Now you'll say, I will not think of the world wars. I will not think of the book distribution. I'll not think of the Hare Krishnas that are always seen some corner of the world, either in the airport or in some joints at some co- the street crossings or on the roads or in the schools and all that. I'll just stop thinking about it. No, that is not possible. Something or the other, you must think. This is the nature of the mind. Unless the mind is there, you cannot stop it. And what will you do? Hmm? What will you do? So the such people, they do not have any spiritual idea. They do not know what is spiritual thinking. Here comes the difference. The men, the humans who are animal like, do not have an understanding of what is spiritual idea, or then there's something called a spiritual thinking. They think that make it zero. The thoughts, let us make it zero, like a deceased person who is from the beginning of his life, if he is into some wrong conception about the life, about the society around, or himself, then they think like that, because material the belief that the material world is everything is limited, and it will only give you a limited thinking. You will not get any better thoughts because the sphere of thinking is so limited, and you will only get something that comes to an end, something that comes to an end each time. Where is the viability? The life must go on. We are conscious entities, and we cannot kill this mind. And then what is spiritual thinking is something that needs to be pondered on, and that's all that matters. Now, the deceased person is being talked about now. When suppose a man, he doesn't know that he has some disease, then what to speak of such a man? He'll not find any remedy. But if a deceased person is told that you have some disease, you'll be cured, and then he says, what do I do after I'm cured? You will eat very nicely, and then walk nicely, and think nicely. So he's coming to the stage of that condition again, again thinking, again eating, and then lying down on the bed. What is the difference? It must be zero. No eating, no drinking, no walking, no bedding, no sleeping. He thinks like that. So he's got a bad experience of his condition. So he thinks, again, if there is eating, there will be walking. How am I going to be ever cured? He cannot think of anything like that. Now they don't have idea that there is something called as higher thinking, which is spiritual. So they all are making it zero, they say. Now, these people, they have a very low conception of life, and the philosophies that they will speak about or promote is also like that only, you know, the bogus philosophy. Now, the body is, human body is always subjected to pains and pleasures. Little change in the weather, and then you have diseases. What is that? Disease, I don't have disease, but you may have some headache. Then that's also not good. A healthy body and a healthy mind is always one that keeps one happy. And with a little change in weather, when there's a fever, there is some suffering, body ache, some, and then the breathing trouble starts and all that. So at least so much we must accept that this body is not giving any happiness. Like I am subjected to fever, the headache, the breathing troubles with the change in the weather, and then the mood swings. So what is all this? Isn't it trouble? So an intelligent man will identify this as a trouble, because consistently being happy, health is the first thing that is a sign of happiness, good health. So why does one not have a good health in the first place? So that is the cause of sorrow of so many people, and still they don't acknowledge. They say yes, there is happiness in this world, there is happiness. So some people are of that opinion, and they must be made to convince that this happiness that you believe in is cheating you. And um, so we're back to this again. The people like the animal like people who are in the human body, they always tell that, now make it zero, make it zero. What is that? They say, you've got trouble in the eyes, pluck it out. No more pains and pleasures. He doesn't know how to cure it. He simply says, pluck it out. That is their philosophy. Asatya satya karimani. Asatya satya karimani. Being puffed up by false ego, I have taken untruth as truth, and when somebody speaks truth, I take it as untruth. Asatyera satya karimani. Hare Krishna. So that is the path these people take to, and they are very successful in convincing the poorer souls around them to into that, which is so very dangerous. Srila Prabhupada, because of Srila Prabhupada, we came to know otherwise who would have told us that this is not the way? The differences, the minor differences, the minute, the subtle things going on, and that is the cause of the sorrow. And the subtle things, who would explain anybody in such a convincing manner? Because once you're convinced, then you will not go to the same old the pain and trouble path of pain and trouble. So this is very difficult. Now, if you ask such people who are, these humans labeled as animals, now we call them animals because they will never ever listen. If you ask them, why do you kill poor animals for the sake of your tongue? Give up meat eating. It's very difficult for them. They will not recognize it as anything wrong. They will instantly revolt, meat eating. And then what do we eat? They will not even ask that. They'll say, we are made to eat that. That is their reply. So, what can you explain to such people further? We cannot explain them anything. But in the material world, they are seen to progress leaps and bounds, and that's the problem. And that is the problem. They are very influential in convincing so many majority of the human society into all these material attractions. So the people will not give up their material attractions, and then who will speak up to them about the Krishna consciousness philosophy? That is next to impossible. The these people and then these people pass away as a very wanted in the society, and they are very smart in convincing all majority of them around them that what they are doing is right, and all the things that take one away from Krishna consciousness, they encourage such things. And people like us, you and me, who read a little bit and believe in the philosophy of the next birth as a human, and then we are god fearing, we are scared to do some wrong things, we are scared of sins, we run away as soon as the sins come, just like as if it is like a death to a person. So everybody who are practicing the philosophy of Krishna consciousness by Srila Prabhupada, they would be of that nature. But again, they still need to do a lot, because the opposite force is also very strong, and we cannot underestimate it. We think that the Lord will protect me, Krishna will protect me, but we have to be very strong. Otherwise, a little belief that is somehow gotten with little fortune will also be wiped away, and you will end up being a animal, degraded than that human who is an animal already, because you have fallen from that belief. And then what will you do? You'll not do anything that those animals do, and that is how people are suffering in this world, especially India. Indian people are really suffering heavily because of this problem, and it's very sad. Then who do you associate with? That is another question. These people do not agree in that way, and the humans who are animal-like do not accept the philosophy. So, what can be done with the people in this society like this is a challenge, and it's a challenge. And this, and then speaking that no, Krishna will help, he's powerful, Krishna consciousness will always be helping, saying is another thing, but seeing the practical results is another thing. Just speaking will not do. Krishna consciousness is all about activity. If there is no proper activity, then who will balance these forces? The other party is fully in action and in complete force. Who will cut that force? Who will balance that force? How much can you just speak? Krishna will protect, Krishna is my maintainer. But we need some action, we need some extra powerful force, at least to save ourselves in the first place. Then helping others is another question. So, Srila Prabhupada here, at least he has given this understanding to us, and but that does not help. How long we can go on even repeating the same? So there has to be some action, and there has to be some practical result, because what we end up most of the times is blaspheming or criticizing these people, or who are anti, whatever, what to say. They donate also, and that's how they get stronger. They donate money to sometimes the book distribution or Krishna consciousness, and then they carry on their own things in the same old way. So how are they contributing to this? They are not even anti, we will say, and we have to look at them with a little consideration and some concern. Respect is another thing. So in India, people are vegetarian, but they are cannot give up smoking. They cannot give up, certain bad habits. So habits, in the sense, these are not bad habits actually, but the effect of it is real bad on the health and the body. It does not give any rise to spiritual liking. So this is the problems, and then there are many devotees, so called, but they are just in the karmakand and the yogic layer, jnani layer. The bhakti, the Krishna consciousness is something very special. It is a complete change of heart, and it gives you the strength to tolerate any kind of opposition and convert that person. Convert in the sense, bring a transformation in his thinking, which is harmful to himself in the first place, and then the society or the other person around him later. So this is the power of Krishna consciousness, because it is really it is directly linked to the love of God, the love of Godhead. So why would you listen to anybody beyond, sacrificing your life? Does anybody sacrifice life for anyone, that he becomes subservient to that person, and he's willing to do anything that the other person suggests? Is there any example of such a thing in the material world? If at all there is, then there would be only for the material purpose. But so this Krishna consciousness is about the God, about Krishna, the supreme, the God, and so one must take up, and anyone who takes this will be saved. So that is our hope, and that is how we always speak about. And but there is a lot to it. It is just a beginning. Speaking is just a beginning, and there is a lot to achieve. And so activities, we one must find out what are the activities and get into action. Otherwise, if the activities are stopped, then the other party will take over and do their activities in the opposite direction. So thank you very much.